Alright guys, this is inaccurate. So I've been playing Elden Ring for probably the last 3-4 weeks, depending on when this video is uploaded. And because it's a FromSoft game, I am still utterly and very confused. So, I'm going to be spoiling a lot, and I'm going to be using a lot of footage from a lot of other stuff. So, if you haven't done Ranni's quest line, if you haven't gotten to the end of the game, if you haven't explored Elden Ring in all of its glory, then you should probably save this for later. If you're here to just hear me rant about some game that you don't even really play, then sit back and relax. I finished Ronnie's quest line like 2-3 days ago, and I gotta say it's a really long but very satisfying kind of quest line because it involves many parts of the world. You gotta do a lot of stuff, and to be honest, it gets really kind of tiresome because you have to go to all these places and figure stuff out. But at the very end, it's very to somewhat satisfying. But there's still a lot of things up for interpretation, like why does Ronnie's doll look exactly like Milena? Are they two related? And to be honest, Elden Ring doesn't explicitly say this, but I think Milena is the daughter of Radagon and Marika. And why I think that is because Milena has the flame red hair going. That's a common trait among Radagon's, children. You could look at Radon, and then I think you could look at Melania as well, not Milena. And you could also kind of figure out that they're kind of the same family because they have like kind of like a similar naming sense. Kind of like how households in like medieval times used to do it, I guess. Because Marika, Milena, Melania, Michaela. Don't really quote me on Michaela. I haven't done Melania's quest yet, and apparently her quest has something to do with Michaela, but I know that Melania is an Empyrean as well, and all of their names start with an M and end with an A, so you can kind of group that in the same group or same family. Another example of this is Godfrey, Godwin, and Godric. And I think there was Godefroy, that guy inside the jail. And then another example is Rennala, Ranni, and Radon. Although those are more like starts with R but has an A somewhere in their name. So it's a little iffy. So why did I bring that up? So I think that because Milena is daughter to Radagon and Marika, that makes Milena and Ranni sisters, or half sisters at least. So then they kind of look like each other. And I know you guys are probably thinking, like, if you went through Ronnie's questline, you would know that the doll itself was modeled after an ice witch who modeled it after her younger self. And to be honest, I'm not exactly sure because there's not too much information about the ice witch. Like, I don't doubt that it was modeled after her younger self. I'm just saying, like, there's probably like a theory out there, probably like, oh, that Ice Witch was probably like Radagon's sister or something, or Radagon banged the Ice Witch, and then you get Milena, and then that's why at the Frenzied Flame ending, when you see Milena, walking at the end cinematic, her left eye is like all blue and frosted. Although the one thing I can say for sure is that when she made the doll, the Ice Witch, she made it have 4 arms. So to me, that just means that she's like a carrion sorceress, because the puppets that they make in the academy, like the ones with the spears and the crossbows, those also have 4 arms. Except Ronnie's doll body looks a lot better. Also, on the crazy flame ending, did you guys notice, like, so Marika's eye, the closed one, is on her left eye, right? And then her right eye is completely normal color. I think it's like red or brown, right? But then in like the end Crazy Flame cinematic, her right eye is gray, but her left eye is like blue. So that means the blue eye was the closed eye, and the normal eye turned into a gray eye. I don't know what the fuck is going on there. Like, also some people were saying like Milena or Ranni might be like the Dusk-Eyed Queen or like her daughters. I don't think that's true. I think the Dusk-Eyed Queen is just like a standalone kind of figure. You know, she was like the leader of the Godskin Apostles and the Godskin Nobles. And then, you know, she got her ass beat by Malekith because there's so many fucking wars happened in Elden Ring. You know, there was the fucking Dragon War, there was the Giants War, there's a war against Volcanic Manor, there's a war against the Omens, there's the war against the Godskin Apostles. Like, I wouldn't doubt, like, it's just like another war that they kind of like added in. Because, to be honest, the only time I've seen the Dusk-Eyed Queen, like, mentioned was in the fucking Godslayer Greatsword. And, like, that's it. Like, I haven't seen any other lore otherwise. So going back to Ranni, her whole questline is based on her trying to go a different route. You know, she's trying to derive her own fate. But, you know, she's completely controlled by the Greater Will and the Two Fingers. You could look at this from, like, the Stargazer talisman. Like, she's been looking up at the stars, like, forever, and then she eventually found the full moon. How I interpreted that was that, you know, it's another god playing with the stars and trying to, like, message people. And, you know, like, how sorcerers are, like, derived from astrologers in Elden Ring. So then, you know, because Ranni's also a sorcerer, you know, she also watches the stars. So, you know, her fate is, like, very tied to the stars. At least that's what I think her motivation is. Although, if you keep going through her questline, you'll see that, you know, that big, giant, void bug monster also came from the fucking stars. So I'm just like, do you really want to, like, follow your fate, like, when it comes to the stars? Because, like, Radagon, like, you have to fight Radagon because, like, he's stopping the stars. Like, that guy has gone completely mad. But there's a couple of, well, there's like a few things that he's still like doing even though he's completely insane. One is riding his horse. Two, he's like stopping the stars for some reason. And to be honest, we'll never really get that reason, you know, FromSoft and all that. And three, he still knows how to fight people. Radon was like taught by like, I think it was an Onyx Lord, and then he got like really good at gravity magic. So like there has to be a reason, at least he probably learned from the Onyx Lord, why he was stopping the stars in the first place. And you gotta figure, like, he had like two wars going on. Like, he had the war against like stopping the stars, and then he also had the war against the Scarlet Rot. There has to be a significant reason for why he stopped the stars. But anyways, so Ranni basically just kind of keeps going with her fate, you know, for the stars. You know, like, whatever's controlling the stars, probably another god. She eventually, like, when you summon her, when you defeat Radagon and then the Elden Beast, you know, like, she kind of creates her own like separated space, like, for like 1,000 years where like the Greater Will can't intervene. So I'm just like, what? She gets her own fate, but like, is this fate even really better? Because like, you're pretty much throwing away one god and then going to another god. And then if you guys have done like Celavis's, I don't remember her name, the sorcerer girl with the big Burger King helmet. So she tells you to go look for Master Luzat. I think it was Master Luzat. And like, when you eventually find Master Luzat, he gives you the sorcery. And then when you read the sorcery, it basically said like he peered into a cluster of stars and then his mind fucking exploded. So I'm just like, okay, so there's big giant galactic bug monsters in space, and then there's also mind fucking in space. So I don't know if her way of going through things is good. But like, yeah, it looks like the Greater Will has like fucked over a lot of people, and then I don't really understand what their whole two fingers things is going on, you know? Like, there's like two fingers everywhere. There's two fingers at every single like fucking divine tower except Rennala's divine tower, because that just has Ranni's dead body there. So like, I don't even know what is going on. Why is there so many like two fingers everywhere? Like, there's those primordial like 10-finger monsters, you know, like the ones that try to attack you with the ring. And then there's also the 3 fingers. So it's like, what the hell is going on? Like, are those like 10-fingered monsters stupider versions of like the 2 fingers, and like the 2 fingers are the intelligent ones, and then the 3-finger one is like the symbol for chaos and against like 2-fingered order, well, whatever. And then there was also the thing about like Ranni was the leader of the Black Knife Assassins, and she stole death from Malekith, and she like stuck it in her own body, and it, you know, like rid her of her body. But I'm guessing that she didn't want to actually die. She just wanted to be separated from the Greater Will. So she also killed Godwyn, and then, you know, like their death rune got split, because technically if she killed herself, then she would be under the influence of death. You know, she would be like the the princess of death instead of like the prince of death. You know, like if you've seen Godwin's big bloated bug body, that is disgusting, dude. It looks like something straight out of Bloodborne, except even more disgusting. So I don't really understand that. And then like when you go to the very high area in like the Caria area, the Black Knife assassin leader is jailed. I mean, I guess that could lend some space, like maybe Ranni was actually trying to kill herself, but then at the same time the Black Knife assassins also went off on their own and used their like death ruin to kill Godwin, which doesn't really explain why the fuck Godwin had to die in the first place. I don't really understand that. And then like this other thing, like I was also watching other people's playthrough, and you know like how they have like the starting cinematic. Like I didn't realize this, but apparently Godfrey also died. You know, like apparently he got like killed or something as well, and I was like, what the hell? So like Godwin and Godfrey died, and then like the last of the line is probably like Godric. It's just like so hard to kind of like piece together. And then, you know, like because it's like George R.R. Martin and Miyazaki, like George R.R. Martin I know loves to put like bastards or like bastard children like in the story as well, so you don't even know like who's like, you know, daddy or mama is actually the children's daddy, genetic whatchamacallit, you know. So like if you watch Game of Thrones, you'll know like there's like tons of bastard children in there. So, you know, I wouldn't put it past them to put like a bunch of bastard children inside like the whole demigod situation. It's like it evolved from Game of Thrones Dark Souls to giant bloodborne cosmic war. And to be honest, like the world itself actually just reminds me of Dark Souls 2, like a very re-improved Dark Souls 2, which I mean is great because Dark Souls 2 had a lot of build diversity. Yeah, I don't really understand. I mean, I still gotta do Melania's quest and then I find out about Michaela as well. When I found out Michaela was a boy, I was like, what the hell? Like I thought Michaela was always a girl. That confused the shit out of me as well. Anyways, this video has gone on for too long. I'm out. Bye.